So this is the page layout that I had planned. And of course, I had everybody cut this paper, and I realized afterwards that I had it cut wrong, but that's okay. We're going to tweak it. It's really just to get the idea that you can make this page too. And I had done this with a page, and I think I showed it earlier. I had done the same idea with the pet pieces of paper. This was from the dog paper. I think it was called Pet Palace. And I had taken the paper and just cut little tiny strips. These were 1/4 inch strips and put them around the edge of the page and then added a square with the line through the middle. And I just thought it really came out cute. And then I saw Creative Memories in the project recipe for National Scrapbook Day. They actually had the page there with in the little booklet that was inside your page pack. Inside here, the actual page is here using 1-inch strips of paper. So with those two ideas in your head, we're going to do 1/2 inch strips of paper. So what I'm going to have you do is take that green piece of paper that we have left over. You're going to take your trimmer and you're going to use your, if you have the decal blade, that looks awesome. Because what I'm going to have you do is you can put it down as the green piece around your paper, or you can do it with the brown. And I love the brown against the yellow. I just think that really pops. So what we're going to do is you're going to cut 6 of these brown pieces of paper. And what you're going to do is put in your decal blade. Make sure you cut the edge, and I already had done it. Cut the edge of your paper. Let me just flip this over so you can see the edge of your paper with that decal blade. So just move it over just a little bit so you have that decal trim already. And the decal trim almost looks like a torn edge, which is going to look really cool with this brown paper because it's going to almost look like a twig for the outside frame that we're making. So make sure you cut that little edge off first and then move your piece of paper over that first line past the cutting line. So if this is your cutting line right here, this first line on the grid is going to be your 1/2 inch mark. So just move the edge of your paper over to that 1/2 inch mark and cut. And you're going to want to make 6 strips that are a 1/2 inch wide with that decal blade. So you go ahead and make those 6 strips. And just keep moving it over a 1/2 inch and cut again, 1/2 inch and cut again. So you have your 6 strips. What you're going to do is, don't let me rush you, I'm just going to explain, is you're going to take your solid piece of yellow and you're just going to lay them down about 1 inch from the edge. So if you have a mat, I have the Creative Memories 13 by 13 inch mat, which means when I put my 12 by 12 piece of paper down, there's actually a ruler on the outside of that paper showing where my measurements are. If you don't have that, that's okay. Take your ruler, and I have a ruler here somewhere. I got lost on my Where is it? That's all right. You're going to take a ruler or take an edge of a piece of paper and put it at that 1 inch mark so you know where that 1 inch line is. Just put some tape on the back of each one of these 1/2 inch strips. And you're going to put it from the 1 inch mark, and I'm putting the 1 inch mark directly in the center of that strip of paper. So I can see the 1 inch is right in the center of that paper. And then what you're going to do is do it around 3 sides of your paper so it'll end up looking like this. It's framing out your page. And you want to do it on both sides so you have that double page spread for lots of pictures in the middle. Now, you can certainly cut 2 more and make it so that it's 2 complete pages so they look like this. It's up to you. That's going to be your choice. I have extra paper here. So you can close off so that it's 4 strips all the way around your piece of paper. It's up to you if you like that look. I like the look of it being open in the center so it looks like they really flow together. Because when they're in your album, they're going to look more like this, close together, the way the pages fall. And then it just looks like they really belong together. Okay. And then what you're going to do is we have some of this paper left over. Um, I believe the way we cut it, we had a strip going sideways, a strip going long ways. I just would love to use it. On my original layout, I had a big square of it and then cut it diagonally. So if you do have a big square of it and want to do something like that, feel free to do that. And then you can see I put that sticker strip along underneath the pictures, that long border sticker. For this one, because I didn't cut my papers the same, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cut a square out of this piece of paper, whatever is left. I'm going to make it a square. So this is actually 6 inches wide. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it at 6 inches. So I have a 6 by 6 square. Actually, I have 2 6 by 6 squares now. And if you have that, you can certainly add that to the center. I'm giving you lots of options on this page. You can add that to the center. You can pull it up into the corner, which is also going to look really cool. We also have this strip of paper. You can certainly add that as a strip somewhere if you want. Or you can take it and you can cut it into diagonals and use a diagonal here and a diagonal over here. So what I'm going to do, what that means is I'm going to take my 6 by 6 square of this pretty paper. I'm going to turn it on so that I'm cutting from one corner and then the opposite corner. I'm going to put them on my cutting line and cut between. So now I have 2 triangles. And those 2 triangles, I'm going to put one up here and one down here. Now, you can certainly do the same thing with this one and cut it this way and have another triangle here and here. That's up to you. I like it just like this. I think that looks really pretty. And because once you put your pictures on, it's going to look absolutely stunning. Another thing you can do is I was playing around with that avocado piece of paper to put that in here as well. You can also do this where the avocado is in, I just have to cut it down. I didn't cut it right. My measurements were all off, but I kind of like it this way. And then once you have your pictures on, and let me just pull out some of these picture mats so you can see.
Do you remember what your measurements were on the original one?
The original were, it was still 1/2 inch strips of paper.
Yeah.
And then somewhere I put, oh, here's my ruler. It was a 9 by 9 inch square that
Perfect.
I cut on that diagonal, and then I put the two squares in there. So now what I'm doing is I just had them in my hand. Where did I put it? These are 4 inch by 4 inch picture markers, so you can kind of get an idea of what kind of pictures and where they can go. I would use this avocado color to mat those pictures because I think that's going to look stunning on there. It's a great way to do. And then what I will do is have some embellishments in here. I think that's going to look really stunning. And this just gives you an idea of where you could put pictures. You can certainly do another grouping. So I'm going to show you this way. And then I'll use my bigger ones. Here we go. So you can do a layout where it's like that, or you can do 2 4x6s would work perfect in here as well. So you can decide where you want. You can certainly cut up that avocado piece. What I'm going to do right now is while you're working on your strips and your triangle, the other idea I had was you can take this triangle, put it in the corner of your avocado piece, even if it's square, and you can mat it like a picture. So I'm just going to put it about 1/4 of an inch down from the edge. So even if this was still square, I know I cut it. I'm just kind of using my scraps because I was thinking a different way and it wasn't working. So I'm just putting this into the corner of a piece of that avocado. And then what I'm going to do is take my trimmer and I'm just going to trim a little bit beyond. I got to make sure that it's straight. What I'm going to do is this rail for the blade housing. I'm going to use that as a guide. I'm going to put the edge of the decorative paper right on the edge of that rail. And then when I cut it, it's going to give me that perfect matting to that corner. And I really like the way this is coming out now. And I'm going to tuck it under that little brown paper because I think that's going to look really pretty. Again, I put it right into the corner of a piece of that avocado, and I'm going to cut on that line. I got to turn it this way. So again, that decorative edge of paper is right, the edge of it is right along the rail of my, the rail for my blade, the cartridge holder, the blade holder. And now I have, oops. What is happening? Close. I'm on low battery mode. Of course I am, because I need it to work now. So, that is going to go there. And that is going to be my beautiful layout. So I'm just going to put some tape behind here. I'm going to tuck it under. If you use your multi-purpose tool, you can kind of lift these up a little bit just so you can tuck this under the edge. So I'm just going to tuck this under the edge here. And I'm going to tuck this under the edge over here so that some of that green is showing and some of that and all of the decorative piece of paper is showing. And then that, I actually like this page better than the way I originally planned it. And then you can put your 2 pictures right there, or you can put 3 pictures, however you want. But that is the idea of the layout.